What is up, you guys? I'm ImNotMagic here, and I'm playing some Black Ops. I'm not actually playing it. I played it and then recorded it and threw it into Vegas, and now I'm talking over it. And I thought it was gonna be Grizz's game and snipe, but then I realized I am in fact not Grizz, and so I put it on an AK-47. But yeah, I was playing this game with Sketchy Poo. We just kind of hopped on one game. Me and him haven't played console in forever. We've been playing PC. We haven't played Black Ops in forever, so this was the first game for both of us. And we both pulled like over 30 kills. Like, this was a gameplay for both of us, so that was fun. We actually kind of dominated Black Ops for a day, and it was pretty cool. Anyways, so I had this girl back in the day. We were friends at first, and then we started going out and everything. It became Facebook official, or I guess that was back when MySpace was popular, so it was MySpace official. I don't know, did MySpace have relationship status? I don't even think. Maybe they did. But anyways, we were together. We were boyfriend and girlfriend. And it was one of those relationships where we both felt like, this is not working. Like, we both liked each other, and we both were friends before we got into this relationship. But just the fact that it was a relationship, have you guys ever had those, where it's just like you both really like each other, but the fact that it's a relationship just, it doesn't make it work, I don't know if I'm the only one who's felt like that before. I'm sure I'm not. But basically that's what happened. We both just, we weren't happy with it, and it was kind of frustrating because it's like, we both really like each other. Why can't we make this work? So she came up with the idea one day that we should just be friends with benefits, and this was the first time that I had ever done something like this. This is the first time I've ever had a relationship like this with a girl. So I'm just like, okay, that sounds good. So we remained friends with benefits, which for those of you who don't know what a friends with benefits is, it's like the relationship without the bullshit. So it's like you're friends, but you do all the stuff that couples would do, but then you don't. Like, for a guy, it's like I can get a bunch of action and I don't have to listen to a problem. So it's kind of a good thing. Guys like that. It's usually not the girl that suggests it, but whatever. So this being my first time being friends with benefits with someone, I was not entirely sure how it worked, and I was talking to other girls, I was flirting with other girls, which technically is okay because we're not in a relationship, but seeing it through her eyes, like I now see it through her eyes, where she really liked me and we had a thing, and I was just talking to other girls, flirting with other things in front of her, and that was pretty fucked up. But like I said, we all like MySpace back then, we were fucking crazy. So I'm flirting with other girls, and one day she just comes up to me, she's just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you flirting with all these other girls? I thought we had a thing going. I'm like, we do. We're friends with benefits. Does that mean I can't talk to other girls? I kind of had like a smart-ass attitude about it. And, she was getting pretty pissed off with me. And so, how girls, when they get pissed off, their first instinct is to just make you jealous? I feel like that's their first instinct. Either that or like some death threat type thing. But her first instinct was to make me jealous. So she says, okay, if that's how you want it. So we went to the movies one night, just a group of friends. She was with the group, and so we were there, and I was talking to other girls, like I said, and I was kind of flirting with her too. I kind of wanted more on my plate than I could handle, and so she sees this, and she just starts flirting with every guy. Now, this is a pretty attractive girl, so if you're a guy and a pretty attractive girl starts flirting with you, you're not gonna just like say fuck off. That's not gonna happen. So she started flirting with other girls, and I took this as a direct like middle finger to my face, and so I'm just like, okay, retaliation time. So I started flirting with as many girls as I could, but I wasn't being smart about it. She was being smart about it, and she knew who she was flirting with. I started flirting with every girl I could see, and didn't really stop to think if they had a boyfriend or not. And I was flirting with a girl about 2 years older than me, who had a boyfriend about 2 years older than her, so her boyfriend's 4 years older than me at the time. And I was just like, holy shit, this is not gonna end well. Like, once I found out that her boyfriend was 4 years older than me and like twice my size, I was just like, okay, I'm good. I'm gonna not flirt with any girls anymore. But she didn't stop. She was not done yet. So she started flirting with everyone, and finally we both just said, you know what, this is not working. So we decided to just cut the friends with benefits bullshit. As much as I'd like that to work, it really didn't, and it bummed me out at the time. It's just like, we both liked each other, how did this not work? But I guess it just goes to show, even if you really like a girl and she likes you, it doesn't always work out. And there's been marriages like that where they both are in love with each other and they get married and it just doesn't work, and that shit like that happens. And as frustrating as it may be, the best thing to say here is there's more fish in the sea, and I've moved on. And like I've said, I mean, I moved on to Facebook, which is 20 times better, even though they switched me to Timeline, which is bullshit. But you know, girls come and go. Friends with benefits can work sometimes, and when it does work, it's great. But sometimes you can run into some issues. So hopefully you guys take something away from this commentary. Leave a comment if any of this has happened to you before, maybe some suggestions or anything. And yeah, hope you guys have a good day, and I'm out, guys. Later.